What's up, y'all? Oh, Lord have mercy. First of all, let me say this. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to all the people who purchased the seeds and the cuttings. I appreciate y'all. Stay tuned as the winter goes on, and like especially at the end of the growing season, which y'all, that's what I'm gonna talk about today. I'm gonna talk about several things. If you're new to my channel, you'll find out real quick. I don't garden like everybody else. Everybody else probably done ripped out all of their spring stuff, they had for the spring. Most people probably have ripped a lot of that stuff out and have moved on to their so-called fall stuff. Some of that I don't have to do because I grow greens year round. And let me talk about this watering real fast. If you're a new gardener, please don't think your garden can go without water. Me and one of my homegirls was talking, and we was talking about that, and it's so many people that think that your garden can go without water. You as a human being cannot go without water, even though a lot of us do. We be dehydrated and don't even know it. And try to drink water yourself, but your plants most definitely cannot go without water. They need water and food. And let me say this, I'm cutting y'all on at the end of my watering. I have still been fertilizing y'all, and I'm going to tell you why that's important for me to tell you that in a minute. Also, when you water, you see how long I've been watering this bed? Now, when I turned to this bed, this the first time that I've watered this bed. You see how long I've been watering down on this end? And I'm still going. I'm still focusing on this first half of this bed. You cannot water just real shallow and real quick, y'all. You have to deep water your stuff. You have to water enough so that the water soaks and penetrates down into the soil. Let me also say this. If you are growing in potting mix, don't water your stuff as much. I'm going to be honest and say that's why I don't use potting mix. I find that it holds, y'all excuse me, I'm wiping sweat. You'll know that you're watering properly when you are glistening like the plants, because I'm sweating like I'm going to the electric chair. But if you're using potting mix, y'all, that holds more water because, like I told you before, it's designed for you to grow in a pot. But some people use potting mix in their growing beds, and I'm not saying that you can't do that, but just know that that soil is going to hold more water. So if you overwater, that may become an issue. So just keep an eye on it and do the best you can with what you got. Because I realize that a lot of people buy things when they're on sale, or when they see them, or just whatever. I've used potting mix myself, but it's not my favorite. I prefer to make my own soils if I can. But you can't always do that because, hell, I run out of soil. And then I have to go to something else. But you see how long I'm watering? Y'all see how long I'm watering? You see what I'm saying? Because if y'all go over to the channel, Sun Soil and Shaka, she said that one time. And she was showing that she was going around watering. And her video will probably be better than mine, because you'll see just how deeply you have to water this stuff. And look, when you water deep like this, don't think you can go in the house for a week and not water. That's not how that works. Get your ass back out there the next day and do that again. Especially if you live in a hot ass climate that I live in. And sometimes we don't get no rain. Like, we got some rain a week ago, but we're not scheduled to get any more rain for 2 weeks. So they say. We're going to see what happens. The weather does change. But you want to make sure that your soil is getting good and saturated, and it's getting a nice little drink. Okay? And if you're in doubt about whether your stuff is saturated or not, let me try to show you what you can do. So you can come in here. You see I got mulch. That's another thing. Mulch will help keep your soil. See how long I've been watering? And you see it really ain't that moist. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said, you think you deep watering. You ain't deep watering the doggone thing. I'm just wrenching my hand off, getting it dirt off. So that's why I said you have to, and I'm not going to bore y'all with watering the whole time. I'm probably going to cut this hose off here in just a second. And what I'm going to do is put my sprinkler over here. I got a sprinkler that I can sit over in this bed and it'll water the bed without me standing here. I'm gonna throw this down. Like I said, I'm gonna finish my watering in a minute because I don't want to bother y'all with all that. I'm gonna talk to y'all a little bit too about some things. Okay, so I know it's getting toward the end of the season. Everybody usually fertilizes and remembers to fertilize and fertilize real heavy at the beginning of the season. Please understand, your plants are uptaking nutrients the whole season. So if you don't come back and re-fertilize at some point, you're going to need some more fertilizer. Okay? I need y'all to understand that. It's very important. Okay? You have to, why is there so many flies over there like something dead? Them flies congregating like that, it's something over there. But I'm finna deal with that because I can't with them flies like that. Okay, so this up here has been watering back over here. And I know y'all gonna say, ooh, this pool. Yes. This is where my fruit trees are. And when my fruit trees need a deep water, this is basically what I do. Okay? I got to throw this back a little further. That's the only thing I don't like about these things. You get very, very wet when you use these sprinklers when you're trying to place them. Uh-oh. Actually, I want to put you more over there. Okay. That's probably a little better. Okay. But this is just a little sprinkler that you put on the end of your hose, and they real cheap. You can get them anywhere. And for as that water, I'm gonna pour that over in there. Now I noticed the other day that I had got some germination on some right here on some cilantro. And I know y'all gonna say, how in the world can you keep up with all that stuff in that bed? I can. It's a lot of strawberry though. It's not really a lot of other things. It's really a lot of strawberry. So, but yeah, y'all, all this water will run down that way. So when you see that pool up there, it will run down. And I'll get water the rest of this out here. I don't think I had too much to show y'all back here. But once again, I don't water my fruit trees that often. But I felt like they needed a deep water today. So that's what they're going to get. And there's a cricket in here. And I'm going to pour you out, because I'm going to use this water to water some of these plants. Put about half of it over there. So when it rains and buckets get full, I just use that water, okay? So let's go back up to the front and talk. So back to that fertilization. I saw a couple of people, Aisha and one other person, said they roselle was not flowering. Let me give y'all this information. First of all, roselle and Jamaican sorrel are the same thing. In case anybody didn't know. I think most people know that, but it may be a few don't know that. Roselle is also called rosella in Australia. If you're a roselle, the flowering is triggered by the length of day and the temps. My temps here dropped to 80 something, but then they went back up to the 90s. I'm finna kick these boots off my feet. I think when it cooled off just a touch, it seemed like that's when these got triggered to flower. I also think it's the time of day. I mean the length, the daylight length of day. If y'all don't know, the sun hours are shorter in the winter and longer in the summer. That's why the day length, like your onions, rely on day length. That's why if you get the wrong ones, you won't get no onion. And y'all see that there? Ain't that pretty? It's the prettiest thing. Anyway, but when you start to see those little buds It's time. But I'm gonna tell you this: what you can do to help it along, get you some fertilizer, whichever one is the one. So NPK, N is for the leaves, that's nitrogen. P is the phosphorus and K is the potassium. I cannot remember which one is to promote flowering. Y'all look up online which one out of the NPK, it's not N, it's either P or K, promotes flowering. And I want to say it's the phosphorus promotes. I'm lying. Am I lying? No, because phosphorus, your bones are high in phosphorus. So bone meal promotes root growth, because I know bone meal promotes root growth. So it's probably the potassium. The potassium should promote flowering. And that makes sense to me because bananas have a lot of potassium and bananas are the product of a flower. So anyway, y'all see how my mind works? Very strange. Anyway, but that's how you can do a lot of things. If you know certain stuff, you can link certain stuff and try to figure out certain stuff. So I'm almost positive, which I'm going to look it up. And if I'm wrong, somebody could correct me in the comments. Get you some potassium heavy fertilizer. Something that maybe is 050 or 010 or something like that. Basically where you want, excuse me, I'm sorry. Potassium is K, not P. So you want something that's 005 or 0010 or something of that nature. Okay. And get you a fertilizer high in potassium and use that on your stuff. That should help boost and promote your flower, your plants to flower, because these pods are indeed flowers. So sometimes you can manipulate your plants and get them to do what you want them to do if you know what you want. Like if you want more leaf growth, use something with nitrogen, fish emulsion or something, chicken manure or something of that nature. If you want just an even fertilizer, rabbit manure, I think goat manure, or you can use fish emulsion and more bloom. If you want something for the roots and the flowers, you can just use more bloom. More bloom is 01010, whereas fish emulsion is 511. Okay, so that's why I kind of try to tell y'all, if you are going to use a liquid fertilizer, don't just use fish emulsion. I hear people talking about fish emulsion all the time. Never hear people talking about more bloom. I hear Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead saying more bloom, but I'm not hearing enough people saying more bloom. Y'all really think y'all gonna grow a garden with that 511, and that's all? You're crazy. I'm not trying to be funny, because there's certain gardeners on here will have you thinking that that's all you need is 511. Lies. Because that 1-1, that's your root growth and your flowering growth. If you see gardeners with 511 and that's all they claim they using, and their gardens look good, they lying to you. It just makes no sense. Especially if you've been gardening in the same spot for years. Your plants are using that stuff up. That 1-1 is not enough to replenish the soil with enough potassium and you know what I'm saying? So they got to be using something else, whether it's compost, whether it's worm castings, whether it's composting in place. They're doing something else. So keep that in mind. So if you want to try to get your roselle or anything else to flower, because when I fertilized today, I had a mixture. And what I do is I mix right in my rain barrels and I water out of my rain barrels. Everybody does not do that. So what you can do is figure out how you water or whatever, however you're going to do, and adjust your stuff to whatever you're going to do. Whether you have to use a watering can, whether you have to use granular fertilizer, because you could just find you an even granular fertilizer or something like that, and hit your stuff with some of that, and that should help to promote it to flower, especially if you're getting toward the end of the season. Roselle does fruit very late in the season because it's supposed to be ready around Christmas time, but we be trying to push it because we're not growing it in a tropical condition where it'll never see frost anyway. I watered everything up and through here. My tomatoes have gone back to putting on. See, that's another thing. People be pulling their tomatoes. You see, the tomatoes have went back to flowering and putting on tomatoes. I saw some tomatoes somewhere else, but I'm not going to stand here and look for them all day. But you can just see the sheer volume of the sweet tart peppers, and they are up and over my head. I'm still fighting these leaf-footed bugs. I saw a whole clan of them that must have hatched out this morning. All of them standing up there like bloods, all clustered up together. I killed a bunch of them, but y'all, it's just them leaf-footed bugs. Woo, Stay diligent. You must stay diligent. Look at this here. That pretty. Pretty old pepper. Let me reach over in here and get this one. This is the one that I think in another video wasn't quite ready. I really, if I can, prefer to harvest these peppers full flavor. That's what I prefer. But they're still budding. You see how they're still budding. This is why I'm not pulling. People say, you ain't gonna pull them peppers out of there. I'm gonna back up and show y'all the garden from the front, how people see it from the street, so y'all can get an idea of what I'm saying. So as people pass by here, that's what they see. Okay? Do it look like I need to pull anything? Do it look like I need to pull anything? And I'm not trying to be funny. It's gardeners in the minority that I see who garden. All this spring stuff is still flourishing like this. At this time. Today is September. It's the end of September. It's the 23rd, I believe. Do it look like I need to pull anything? And every day, I've been coming out here getting peppers. Every day, off this pepper plant here, I've been coming out here getting peppers. Now, I'm going to let this turn just a little more, but you can see. And this thing is steadily blooming. It's steadily. This pepper here don't never quit blooming. This one and the sweet tart never quits blooming. Let me go around here and show y'all. Last time we got rain on this ají dulce, it didn't have any blooms and it just had a few peppers. I'm going to try to show y'all. See all the buds, all the blooms. Because, see, we've gone back up into the 90s. You see what I'm saying? Look here. Look at all the peppers. If you think ají dulce is not a prolific pepper, just me lifting these branches where you can see all these buds and peppers and stuff, is it proving it to you? So if you question if ají dulce is productive, the answer is yes. If you question if this sweet tart that I'm growing, which, like I said, I don't know what this is. I planted these seeds. It was supposed to be serranos. As you can see, they are not serranos. But these peppers are so good that, like I said, when you eat them fresh, they have a kind of a sweet tart, spicy kind of flavor. And but when you cook with them, it mellows out quite a bit. And if you cook with them green, they're a little more milder. The spiciness is more mild. This is my rat tail radishes. I think I went over what those were. Another one that's prolific. Once I got this pepper to cooperate and stop doing all that wilting or whatever it was doing, and it bounced back, and then you see the blooms. You see the blooms. Let me lift this branch. You see? Because it's kind of hard to see. They start out greenish, purple looking. Here's one up in here. This one, oh, that leaf is in the way. I'm about to go down. Let me adjust myself. Okay. You see that pepper there, pepper here, two peppers there. You see what I'm saying? So if you wonder about Pippin's, there's another decent sized one there. If you wonder about Pippin's golden honey, I think I've been calling it honey golden. I think it's golden honey. That is a sweet pepper. So if you wonder about it, this was saved by an African American veteran as well. This one, Buena Mulata, and what's the other one? There's one more. This one, Buena Mulata. I can't think of the other one. I've grown it before. It's another hot one. All of those were saved. The seeds were saved from extinction by an African American veteran. I forget what war he was in. He was in some war. He also was an artist as well. So that's why I grow the fish. Is it the fish peppers? It may not be the fish peppers. Hey, cutie pie. Look. Y'all see the little kitty? Hey, kitty cat. All these little bitty. There's so many little cats around here. Hey. Hey. Oh, you meowing at me? One of these days, I'm going to hold you. Yeah, I'm going to pick you up and hold you. Are you meowing? You're so cute. You remind me of my Kenny. You got little black lips like Kenny. Yes, you do. What you been doing? But this is still ate up. I don't think, no, it's a little, I thought it was a little new damage. See that worm there? So I'm gonna have to spray this callaloo again for the worms before it gets bad. We're not gonna get any rain for a while, so that'll be good for me to do that. Spray it. And I'm trying to think, is it anything? Oh, let me show you this. If you want a shade tree, that'll also give you fruit. And for anybody who got Pakistan mulberry cuttings from me, I just want to show you. This has been in the ground a year, this mulberry. And well, let me back up a little bit. See this vine here? This is passion fruit. That's a passion fruit vine. So they can get big. These are also passion fruit vines. But see how small they are? But they can get big. But look at this. This is 1 year. That's the trunk. That's about 2 inches around. 1 year. Y'all see how tall it is? It's about 20 feet. I'm going to have to cut it back. I'm going to try to keep it a little shorter. But if you want a shade tree, just know that whatever limbs you let get way up high, you ain't going to be able to get the fruit. The birds probably going to get them. But this is the Pakistan mulberry. So if you're wondering, y'all, how big does it get? It can get big. You can keep it trimmed down to a certain size. Let me talk about the goji berry real quick. In the summertime, your goji berry, if you got goji berries from me, your goji berry may defoliate, meaning the leaves may fall off. It just kind of depends. Goji berry does better in the fall. Can y'all see all those little ball looking things? Those are buds. It's gonna bloom again. It's flowering. See the flower? There's some more flowers down here. See the flower? It's another one over here somewhere. Here it is behind this leaf. I see it on my finger. But this, your goji berry, that's how it do. It likes it when it's cooler. So early in the spring, it'll flower and have a lot of leaves. The leaves may fall off of it, but keep it watered in the summer and it should survive and come through and the leaves grow back out in the fall time. But your goji berries love water, y'all. They love water. They almost like elephant ears. You can almost just sit them in water and they don't care. Like their roots don't rot or nothing. This is a different goji berry that's supposed to be like purple or something. This one, all the leaves fell off and then came back. Also keep in mind, when you plant passion fruit, I planted that in a container, baby. Them roots, they escaped that container. They're in the ground now. I'm not too much worried about it because if they grow out here, I just mow them down with the lawnmower. But just keep that in mind for maypops and or passion fruits, whichever one you want to call them. I don't know if my tomatoes, these Zapotecs, you see how good they're looking? They actually look better now than they did in the spring. In the summer. Once it got hot, they didn't look the most grand. And what I'm going to have to do is, these vines here, I'm going to have to tie up here. But I'm going to prop them up temporarily. I got a pepper in here that's ready. So this is sweet tart pepper too. Okay, so we're going to see if these Zapotec tomatoes do anything. My tomatoes didn't do nothing this year. I got a couple of tomatoes I didn't really get much at all. Because this is mushroom basket. This plant has looked good all summer. And gave me tomato, the furs. And what is this on the back? Look at, what is this? I don't know what that is. Probably something where they lay their babies at. You know, it just be too much. But the peas are still putting on and making peas. I've got to give me a grabber and reach up there and get those. The callaloo still has not started. Look at this. So you see what I'm saying about these worms? Come here. Bird food. Throw your ass out there. You either gonna get run over or the bird's gonna get you, or you gonna cook on the concrete. I ain't got time. And that probably was gonna make a beautiful butterfly. I don't give a damn. I'm sorry. They be eating my stuff a little too much. And I'm not gonna harvest off this again. I'm simply just trying to let it go to seed. But hell, this callaloo don't even want to go to seed. And that's a good and a bad thing, because that means you get more harvest out of your callaloo. But then at the same time, it's like, damn, you gonna wait till the frost to go to seed. And look at this. One of these volunteers was a Scotch bonnet. Look at there. One of those volunteers was a Scotch bonnet. And that pepper plant hasn't done very well because it's been so shaded out. I mean, really shaded. I'm going to try to prop it up a little. I see another pepper on there. But, y'all, if you got any questions, concerns, comments, leave them in the comment section below. And until next time, see you guys later.